Hello. I don't know if you can hear me okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I'm trying to get the camera to come on at the moment.
I got to do mine too. Oh, there it is.
We got it at the same time. Hello. How are
Hi.
you guys?
We're good. How are you?
Pretty good. I
Good.
don't know why there's a background on this thing. That's so weird.
Yeah, it's not.
There you go. There. So, I do have these recorded. It's up to you if you want these uploaded to YouTube or if you just want me to send it to you. I would have to render it to where it could be sent in an email, because that's the only way to really send these. But if you want, it can just be uploaded to YouTube and then I just send you the link.
That's fine.
Okay. So how are
Yeah.
you guys?
We're good. We're good.
I
You
will
good?
say this. You have a lot of energy around you. Doing that pathway document was so hard because I
Oh,
don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
You're okay. I don't know who he is, but I hope Pappy sounds familiar to you because he just shoots in. He's like, "What are you doing? Who are you? Why are you coming over here?" And then you have like this one guy. I could swear I'm not sure just yet because I gotta tap into him. But he feels like either like a husband or a boyfriend of something. And I said boyfriend. He goes, "Excuse you." I'm like, "I'm sorry." So I
That's
don't know if
James.
that. Okay.
That, that's my
And
husband that passed.
so I've done a reading with you before, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Because and now that feels a little bit familiar. Does he have a junior where there's another
he
James
does.
that just had a birthday?
Yeah.
May?
Yep.
Okay, he
Yep.
says happy birthday to my boy.
Oh.
But there's a special date. So you mentioned Clayton. I don't know if I've done a reading on him before, but he absolutely feels like this is your son. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have done a reading for Clayton before.
Okay, so one thing that I
Like
will
we've.
say is that I do honestly have a memory like a fish, I swear. Okay, so
Yeah.
if I don't remember them, it's just because of the fact that literally it's just I read so many. But honestly,
Right.
that's why I go and write them down is because I want to make sure that, like, and I don't know if I even read, was it whenever I did like a free read or something with Clayton?
That's what started it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why. Because with Clayton, it doesn't feel like I have anything that is like staple and stuck. So whenever I say staple and stuck, it's like I wrote them down and then I continuously keep reaching out to the family to let them know, hey, your person's here, make sure that they're okay. With him, he doesn't show me like just like a teenager though. He shows me like he's like, no, I just graduated. So if he graduated, like if I'm listening to him right, it's like I'd say about 2018, 2019.
Hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
it's weird though, because he shows me this career with the Marines. So,
Yeah.
okay, yes. Okay, I was
Yeah.
kind of unconfident on that a little bit. I was like, but, so he's like, he says that no, like and he's just like, he's so busy with his hands, always busy with his hands. Very sportsy, busy with his hands. Because as I start talking about a career, he starts talking about being busy with his fingers, like his hands, doing things.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so this has got to be Katie, right?
This is Katie.
Because he goes, "That's Aunt Katie right there." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And
He called her mommy number two.
yeah, I was just about to, okay, because
Sorry.
it's weird because with James, he calls James his dad completely, but then he says that he's got um either Gary, George, or Greg is the
Greg is his biological father.
okay, and then he goes right back to James. He's just saying like that's the
Yeah.
connection. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
he just doesn't even really talk about that. But he just
Mm-mm.
says he wants you to know that like all of like there's more people. There's him, there's your husband, and it's weird because I wanted to say paternal parents, but like it doesn't go with James. Does that make sense? And then there's
Our
also a young
like
little
our
boy.
paternals are James's because his I'm hoping that he's with Mildred. She was his
You know
mother's
what, that
adopted
name
mother.
sounds familiar because I was gonna say Mary. I was
Yeah.
gonna say Mary.
His
So yeah.
grandmother was Mildred.
Okay, and it's
That's his
both,
mother's
right?
mother.
It's father and mother. I mean, father, yeah, father and mother that would be there because he also has a male standing right next to him that would either be like either father or this is going to be his uncle because there is a male that's like literally right next to the one that I
Or
thought was going to be married.
I'm not real sure. James's mom was adopted, but she had brothers, but I don't know
That
how.
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
That
on
makes
his
sense.
dad's side, it might be. It was if his grandfather was Joseph. It may be him.
Oh.
That was his grandmother on his father's side passed when I was pregnant with James, and that would be Olga and James. Olga and Joseph.
Okay, and then I do have to ask, who is Pappy?
My pappy was my grandfather on my father's side, but we called my dad Pappy, so I even addressed him by that name to my kids.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if it's my dad or if it's my pappy.
You were saying grandfather, and I was trying to figure out if Pappy was a grandfather, because that's what would resonate to me. And he goes, "No, child." And he's got like this. Let me explain him to you then to see if this is him. He's got like this thick, like brown hair that just is like up. It kind of looks mullety a little bit, but not a lot. And he's wearing like this white muscle shirt, and he's got on these jeans. Total biker vibes.
He was a biker, yeah.
Oh,
he was a biker. He had a Harley.
That's my jam right there, because he's talking about like also you just hear like these really loud bikes. Like what are they called? The ones that they're not
Harleys.
Well, it's not a motorcycle. It's more of like you know, whenever you ride them in the dunes.
Motocross.
He says, "Yes, Mom. Dirt bikes. There you go. That's what he's talking about." And he says, as soon as we got onto motorcycles, he's like, "Yep, there we go. That's my topic." So was he very mechanic-y? Did he like to work on these and everything?
He was a mechanic, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm gonna write things down as we're talking.
A motorcycle with James Jr. That was like a big thing for them. Clayton rebuilt a motorcycle, a dirt bike with James Jr. right before he passed. He actually wasn't finished completely with it. We were waiting for some parts whenever he passed away, and he had like painted it, took it all apart, and that's like the last thing that him and James Jr. did together.
Clayton said, "Mom, you're bad at this." I would have given her that.
I'm sorry. I'm excited.
He said, "Fine." So he's asking, did you guys get a male dog after he passed? Like an Australian Shepherd or something? Because it's like bluish color.
He's a tricolored Merle, giant pit bull puppy. He's like 90 pounds, but he's blue and he's got freckles. Huh?
They come in a Merle color pit bulls?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm going to have
a tricolored Merle.
I'm a huge animal lover, so this is intriguing me now.
You're going to love Leroy.
He says that, do you guys ever find yourself kind of thinking like, dang, he's really got a personality like Clayton?
Yes.
Yeah. He says, I'm not the dog. Like, don't let her think that I'm a dog. But still,
I don't think
that my energy was very much around that dog. And the reason why she felt yes is because they needed that happiness back. And he says, I'm definitely around him. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you guys got him like, because it doesn't feel like you guys got him like super right after, but it does feel like it was like going to be in the same year by chance.
It was like 4 months later, almost 5.
And
we got him in October. July. No, he was born in June. Oh. His birthday's this month. He's going to be a year old.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of a year old, hold on. Clayton's talking about somebody. Do you know a Julie?
That's my daughter.
Okay, he says that there's a baby boy that was born right whenever he was passing too. He says that I absolutely am so high vibrational around that child and I will protect him. Also, did Sissy get married just recently in February? He says I was there for that.
She got married on Valentine's Day.
Okay, yeah, he's saying that he was there for that in February. So I will replay this too for you guys on YouTube. You guys will see where there's like so much that'll pop up. But my goodness, he's just a loaf of information. He goes, "Did you just call me bread?" I'm like, "No, he's got jokes. Like he's got the most humorous."
He's funny.
I'm not gonna joke with you. I might even edit this out, but he's got a morbid sense of humor. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he does.
Because I was talking to him, and then in comes your father, and your father's like trying to talk about like how to let you know that although like they're past, like they really genuinely are thick on your energy, and that he's very proud of how you. He goes, I don't know how you take these blows, but he goes, you're doing a really good job. Because you don't just have Julie and James. It feels like you've got other children as well, like more
Jacob and Joseph.
masculine.
Yeah, there's 4 surviving.
Okay. And so with your father, he's the one that's trying to say, like, please, if there's anything I can say, because he says Clayton talks too much. He
He always said Clayton talks too much.
he says if he can get a word in, he says that he's very proud of you. He's proud of all of you guys. So it's you, Katie, and then is there anybody else? Siblings?
We have 2 older brothers.
Okay, because he's going, don't leave anybody out. I'm not, there's nobody that I'm like not proud of. I'm proud of every single one of them for doing what they needed to do. Was he in the military too? Because
Yes.
who's the one with, oh, does he have really nice, beautiful colored eyes? Like, does he have different colors? Yeah. Okay, he goes, they're not beautiful.
They are.
I'm going to call this his caterpillar because he's got a caterpillar.
Yes, he had a mustache. Sometimes a beard, but always a mustache.
He says that, he goes, okay, tell her this, because then that'll just resonate with her. He goes, he's giving me a visual of his Eden, and he's showing, and Eden is just basically their heaven that they make. He shows this really nice, like, grassy yard. There's like this old TV, you know, those box TVs that go in and out with the antennas. Definitely some type of like, I really think this is baseball. And he's got like a tree that's next to it, and then there's like some type of wind chime or something that signifies his mom, like a cardinal wind chime. And then he's got like a picnic table that sits right in front of like a TV. And he's saying that he's got you, he's got all of his kids. Some, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the cardinal is for. I think it's like his mom or his dad. And then he's got your boy with him, and then he's also got somebody else, but I don't know who this other person is just yet. Does that feel like it resonates some?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's saying he's picking that out because like that's just where he says that no matter what, that's something that, like, did you guys have like a lot of barbecues that you would do here, or where's it at?
One of the things that he liked to do was there was like a 3-day biker thing where you would camp out. Yeah, campground. And we had a lot of fun there. It was pretty significant for us.
That's cool, because I was not getting campground. What I was seeing is like, you know, those wooden backyard fences where they come together.
Yes, like the redwood ones.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like that. It's not just a campground. They have like the festival there, so there's buildings and stuff too, and like pavilions for music and stuff. Yeah, and there's like a midway.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the baseball thing for sure. He was always in baseball, and when he couldn't play anymore, he umpired for the little kids.
Oh, that's so cool. So then the baseball just resonates to him to the max.
Yeah.
Wow. So Gardner comes from him, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was picking up in your whole like past life document I was trying to do, because right. Oh my God, your past life document threw me for like a I was trying to
it's a lot to absorb. I had definitely gonna have some questions about it. One thing I didn't know was when you said Michael Mraz Sr. and Jr., I didn't know that my stepfather that passed had a son that was a junior that he signed over his rights to. Had not, like, I didn't ever know that he even had a son. He was little. Yeah. So
wow. And to be honest with you, the MRAS, I was so unsure about. I kept on wanting to email you to ask you because I was like, where does this even go? Like, I'm getting Gardner from paternal. I can't even pick up on maternal at all besides what he would give me. So the Judy, I couldn't even get that. And then he's like, just put this here. It goes along with the line. And he's saying that what it is in the 1940s to the 1945, you have someone in your bloodline that actually fought in the war there around like Germany, Austria, Auschwitz, that kind of thing. He's saying that that is a thing for your family, that you are tied into that.
Okay.
So that blew my mind.
That would be happy, right? Yeah. All of the Gardners, it's like there was Navy. My dad was Army and Airborne, and they're all in it. Gotcha. All of them.
I'm trying to listen to what else this man's got. So with Clayton, he was actually very young then if he graduated in 2019. He's only going to be, so he's 20, no, he's 21 this year, isn't he? Because he's showing me like
Yes.
he's finally getting to drink. He says, don't tell mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
He would have been 20.
he says that he just doesn't have a good taste for drinking though. The
No?
alcoholic and stuff, he goes, nah, I don't want it no more. Um, so did anybody in the family like so I don't know what this is. Normally, whenever I get this sensation of feeling like I'm still very physically here, it's more that the person had like donated their organs. So with him, it's weird because I feel him so in spirit, but then I also feel him here. So my two questions would be A, did he donate? Or B, is he still like, if he's cremated?
He did donate. They were to do his retinas and his tendons. And I got a letter from the people that were the recipients of that. And he is cremated. He's in my home with me.
Gotcha. He says, good call, mom. Because he goes, you know that I wouldn't want to be anywhere else besides with my family. And also, you know how much of a big heart I had, genuinely speaking. So you know that I wouldn't just want to not miss an opportunity to help somebody. He goes, mind you, people still suck though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't split him up or anything. I have all of him in just one urn.
He said that you had questions about that. Like if you thought that you should probably like make jewelry or something like that.
Yeah. And my mother, Judy, she wanted to take some of his ashes out and put them in an
He
urn
said
for
no.
herself. And I said,
Yeah,
no,
he
he's
says
mine.
no. Yeah,
He's
he
mine.
said he's not trying to be ugly, but what he said is that with all due respect, like I genuinely I want to feel whole in a concept. And he said this is what I wanted, so thank you for listening to your gut feeling on that. Because he doesn't
Yeah.
want to be like, and like most people are like, yeah, go ahead. I would love to be around you too.
Right.
But him,
With James, we like his parents got some, I got some. We buried some with his grandmother, and the kids each got one. But Clayton was my son. He wasn't married. He didn't have any children. He's mine.
correct.
I made him whole, and he's gonna stay whole.
He goes, Mom, let's be real. If I was married, I'd still end up being yours.
You're right. You are right.
He's like, you'd probably love her
Right.
to death, but he goes, besides, I didn't need no more drama.
True.
Oh, yo, speaking on the topic of marriage again with was it Julie or Jewel?
Joel, Jewely,
That's so
Julie.
pretty. Okay, so speaking of his sister, he says that he's very grateful to, hold on, I can get this though. I don't know if his name is Marvin or Michael, but he's very grateful to the man that she married because she says that there's somebody there that like just completely picked her back up, made her whole. So I don't really even know who this is, but I do know for a fact that it's masculine, and I do know for a fact that he like really stood by her side.
Her husband's name is Michael, but he goes by Zach.
Wow, that's crazy. Your son blows my mind. It's not always this clear. It really isn't. It's not going to be precision like this unless they really want to give a message. So that
Right.
blows my mind right there. Also, so the son that she gave birth to is going to be Michael's, correct? Or is that?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. Their first one.
Okay, and his name is going to be. Is his name either? Does it start with an H? You don't have to tell me what it is. Yeah.
It
Okay.
does.
So Henry.
It is.
Okay, I was like
It is
so
Henry.
nervous. I was like, he's like, just tell her the truth. So I was thinking it was an old person's name, and I was scared at
Right.
first.
Right.
But
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
goes,
It's
no.
Henry. It's so cute.
He goes, honestly, I love the name. I love it. Does Henry have any form of a name of either James or Clayton?
And his middle name is actually after his father's brother that passed, but Henry was my grandfather's middle name.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's why it feels like it's something that's an honor. Because I was trying to figure out with Clayton, didn't make sense because Clayton feels like his middle name is going to be like something short, like an A or like an N, somewhere in there. And then with James, I won't even pretend to know that I know what his middle name's going to be because he feels like all over the place. And then as far as Henry goes, I was really thinking that this was going to be older.
Right. Hmm.
One thing that your father just want to say, so just wanted to emphasize again, your father is your biological father for everybody, right? All four of you.
Yes. Yes.
He's saying that he really does like the bond, but the bond between you two is like drastically really there. Are you guys, I mean, I don't know, are you guys like twins or something? Because he's showing that you guys have, it's like some kind of shiny thing that makes you guys like one. And I would
Katie
say
and
it's like a bracelet. What was that?
we're identical twins.
Oh, really?
Should we get closer?
Okay, you can see it when you get closer.
Oh!
I was like, so honestly, I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Now you can tell her hair's down.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'm the chubbier twin, so my face a little better.
You know what? In YouTube, whenever they go to comment, they're gonna probably be like, T, you really don't have social cues. Because I'm not noticing anything. You know, I understand why Clayton was trying to point out who's who, because then I would have been like, you know, because honestly, like I was gonna ask if she was mom back there, but then he goes, "That's Aunt Katie." I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah, our baby's always got confused too. It's cute.
okay." But there's one thing that your dad is saying specifically, though. He says he likes the bracelet.
Katie got me a bracelet.
Oh, he says, "Wait, hold on, don't tell her what's on it." Is there writing that's on it? Okay, hold on, because I can get this, because your dad is really sure that he's also said it a lot. It's like, I think it's like a pecking or something, so just a peck.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was wrong.
Can I tell you now?
I was like, oh, damn it.
My car, I have it on my gear shifter in my car. It's an upgraded baby bracelet from the hospital that says Gardner Baby B on one side of the heart, and on the other side it says a bushel and a peck. From the nursery rhyme, I love you, a bushel and a peck.
Did you call somebody baby boy or baby B?
Baby B, because she's baby A, I'm baby B because she's older.
Ah, that's cool. Because for a
Yeah.
while there, I kept on, especially with Pappy, I kept on getting upgrade the whole entire time. And I was like, what are you talking about?
It's my favorite thing. It's beautiful. I love it. It's a sterling silver bangle, and it's like so personalized.
He says that it's got like where it swirls together, kind of like an infinity around, and it's got like little diamonds in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he says, dang, she would be a good man. She would pick out a good ring.
We're gonna get through.
I don't know what that's about. He says that. It's funny. What's the importance with 1 and 7? I would say this is 17, but this is like 1 and 7.
January 7th.
Okay, so what's the importance? Oh, wait. Clayton says, duh, I was born that day.
Yeah, born that day.
He's funny. And he doesn't mean duh as in like, because whenever people read this, I don't want them to get the wrong impression. He is so lighthearted. Like literally,
he's like, duh.
Sometimes he doesn't take anything serious, but then he knows when to be like, okay. But even on the okay, he's still laughing. I will say this. The only part that's been super hard to get from Clayton throughout the whole entire thing has been the way that he's passed. And it's as if I start talking about it and he starts getting a lot of adrenaline and he pulls away from it. Does that resonate?
Yeah.
And you don't have to discuss it with me or tell me, but I even get like a really bad taste in my mouth too whenever I'm talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that does he want me to talk about it? Because he doesn't want to?
He goes, no, I'm actually trying to tell her, but she's just blocking it because she thinks she's wrong.
I think
So
I'm wrong. Or you think you're wrong.
me.
Oh,
So with
okay.
me, I was instantly thinking he was in some form of like really bad of accident of some sorts. That it's not directly at his hands, but like there's somebody that also was in part of it. Does that resonate on any form?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. So then if I listen a little bit more to what I'm getting as symptom wise, because usually I'm not going to joke with you. This is where I get choked up a little bit because I am such a people person and I don't want to
Yeah.
just be like, oh, here you go, and then see them cry. So what I'm getting feeling on my body wise is I'm very hot. I'm jittery. I've got a lot of sweats on me. My heart is beating absolutely fast. It feels like kind of anxiety. I do feel like a hot flash. I also feel like I'm getting like pain in my cranium up here, and I'm getting tension. So I feel like the blood pressure is rising at this time, and I feel like, and then he gets a little embarrassed, and then I'd stop. So I don't know what, and also he keeps on going, sorry. I don't think he has anything to really be sorry about, to be honest.
Mm. Today's the anniversary of Clayton's death.
Mm-hmm.
And Clayton got very upset and very suddenly walked upstairs in our house and shot himself.
That's the metallic taste.
Yeah, like he was just off for a couple days before that, and like his brothers blame me and say that it's my fault because I argued with him about having his bedroom door locked because I felt like something was off, and that's a safety thing. I didn't feel comfortable, and he argued with me about it, and about I said you need to go to the hospital, and he freaked out, and because his old Jacob, my 17-year-old, and my daughter, they don't speak to me at all since his death. As far as they're concerned, it's my fault. And they said that it was assisted suicide because I antagonized him until he killed himself.
He said, wait, Mom, stop. He goes, that's a bunch of bullshit and you know it.
I know it is.
He goes, honestly, I was already giving this to Teresa, and he was, because of the whole, whenever I taste metallic, I know that it's going to be in gun somewhere, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as where the gunshot wound is, it's not in the mouth. That's not where I'm feeling it. So I was going to be off regardless. One thing with him that he's saying is he goes, that's absolutely bullshit. I was dealing with something. Did he have something that happened with the Marines right before then?
Yeah.
He says it's exactly that.
He struggled with depression for a long time, and he got honorably discharged early and without the option to reenlist because they were very emotionally abusive to him.
I actually am resonating with this so much. I remember picking it up on live, didn't I? About how he passed. And the reason why I'm blocking is because I got too close to it. I actually remember this very clearly because this young man was absolutely certain that you were not the cause of his passing. If I remember correctly, we were sitting there and he was like really pinpoint accurate about the way that he passed. And now, since I'm seeing you face to face, I'm getting too shy about saying it because obviously who wants to relive that? But with him, he's saying that no, his main conclusion of it all was because of the fact he felt like he was failing. He felt like he was missing out on what he really wanted to do because he said the people he looked up to was military and they had a really good career in it. And he felt like, because did he just graduate from some type of like short schooling, like mechanic or something? He says that didn't check out, that didn't work, and then he went into the Marines thinking that would work, and he said that he goes, how dare they, Mom, after everything that you sacrificed for them. And that's exactly, so I do have to recant a statement that I said before. So remember how Pappy was saying that he's very proud of you and that you take blows? This is what he's talking about. He's not talking about anything else besides this. And Clayton says, if there's anything at all, even if you just send him this YouTube video, he says, if there's anything at all, his decision was based off of the fact that he felt like he was failing and the pressure was on him, not nobody else. And he was acting out towards everybody else. And if they look at context clues, they can very clearly see it. But right now they're so hurt that they put the blame on somebody that literally is their rock. Yeah. And he wants them to know not to be stupid because the time is very, very precious as you guys get to see. I actually remember that very clearly now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you. That's kind. It's been hard with his siblings. And since I have Katie, and that's really what I have. What happened?
You guys upgraded. Now you guys are bonded more.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, my mother is in the same boat with them.
Well, like Pappy said, your mother's gonna follow that boat.
Yeah.
You already knew that. He goes,
I'm my father's daughter.
Yeah. He goes, don't you beat yourself up over that, because you already knew where that was going. He goes, and I'm going to be respectful, because Miss Katie, I believe you also have a better relationship, right? With Mom. Okay. He goes, I'm going to be respectful because I don't want it to be awkward. But he goes, Becky. Did he call you Becky more? What did he call you? What's a nickname?
He called me Wabecca Win.
I would have never gotten that.
Like Wapiti, stuff like that. Like, he'd use funny voices, but occasionally he did call me Becky, which I didn't allow until this year for anybody to call me Becky.
Okay, so it's a good thing I didn't start off with that, right?
It's okay now. I don't have to censor anything. It's okay now. Yeah.
But like he says, is he goes, literally, you knew that was going to be the same boat that people follow in. And he goes, and you know what? I remember actually weren't we going to start off where it was like a full, I don't know what it was with you. I think I was going to offer like a tarot pool at the first, but then I was like, no, there's definitely somebody there. And it just flooded in. And so with him, he's saying that, things can get better. It's just a matter of them getting their heads out of their, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's sitting there and he's like, why don't you just say it? What's wrong with you?
You don't have to filter.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he filters at all.
No. No, he doesn't. Not at all. If they said anything for Joseph, my youngest son, is there anything that they want to tell me about him?
Did you call him Joey?
Very rarely.
My
dad call him Joey or Joe.
Okay, so that's where that would mess.
That has a weird nickname for him. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
No, don't. Because if I can get it, that would be awesome. Because I like getting things like that. Yeah. I don't know who this goes with, but 2000. I don't know if this is like. What's with 2019 that just keeps on popping up so much? It's not just graduation. I'm trying to figure out what this is, because as I'm trying to focus on your son, I keep on getting 2019, but your son doesn't feel like he was born in 2019, was he? Joe?
No.
Because that's not where it even places. It doesn't even feel like a celebration of anything. It actually feels pretty sad.
I'm not sure. Like, grandma died December 2017, right? Was it right? Yeah.
See, I don't know what I think I'm probably going to pass the 2018, because as soon as I start thinking about your youngest, John, which is going to be, who's John?
My father and my brother.
Oh, Pappy, you tricked me. Okay, so then this message is going to come from John, which is Pappy, and he's saying that he's wanting him to focus on, oh, that makes sense. He's wanting him to focus on everything going forward. He goes, you've got a lot that you've been through already. The 2019 it does talk again about Clayton's graduation. He's saying that he wants him to focus more like on his education, his knowledge, where he wants to go, that kind of thing. But isn't Joseph very young?
He is.
Okay, so how old is he, if I can ask? Because he doesn't feel like he's past 10.
He's 11, but he's young for his age, I guess is how I could say it.
So he's still learning like how to mature up, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Pappy's filling me in, so don't worry. But he's saying that, yeah, no, he just really wants him to focus on what he wants to get done, what he wants, where he wants to be. And he's saying that, like, one thing for you, he's telling you is take everything as a grain of salt. Everything. And
Okay.
do what you feel to be the best advice coming from you yourself, your own body, because he says we're going to be giving you that intuition, that feeling. He goes all this magic shit that they talk about all the time isn't real, but the spirit connection is very real. He says that he really does give you that higher intuition, knowing that you're going to, not only are you going to be okay, but hey, you need to pull back from something, or hey, you need to go do something. And he says that you kind of felt that same day with Clayton too, but he said
Yeah.
that don't hold on to that guilt because you could have never known what was about to happen the next part.
Yeah. Yeah. It got in, but we both, that whole day, my sister and I we were talking that whole day over the phone on video chat because we just felt like something was off, like something was going to happen, something big.
I thought
But
my
we
cat
didn't know
was
what
gonna
it was. Yeah. She thought her cat was going to die or
I was
something.
stupid about it now.
No, that makes sense. Want to know why? Because Clayton is huge on animals. He loves animals. So no matter what, she knew what was going to happen because to her, I'm sorry if you're asking, but Miss Katie, do you have kids?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So it's weird because with her, a really pure, unconditional love she feels is not only going to be over there, but that cat. You know what I mean? The cat's resignation, it's not going to be like a huge draw, but the thing is they show synchronetic energy around animals if they really do feel like that's something that they would have done here physically, where they like animals. And so with him, the whole aspect of how I thought there was an Australian Shepherd, it's not. It's you guys literally got a dog right after he passed. So her feeling
Yeah.
like the cat, there's something wrong with the cat, it's her knowing something's going to happen. So that's how spirit works is it's not direct and it's not literal, but that's why I always say in my life, drop any logic and drop any literacy because they're gonna give you, hey, something's up. And that's when just first, this is what you do. You just check in on all the people that you love, then check on all the people that you have acquaintance with. And then if nothing's up, then just it is what it is. You can't do nothing about it. And so no. Don't, and like your dad said, don't ever feel stupid for knowing something's going on in your mind. Yeah, even I
Yeah.
sometimes question it because, like, I just recently worked with a sex trafficking case, and I'm just like, okay, is what I'm getting actual literal, or is it just coming up in my head? And it actually turned out to where it is like something in Florida. And so I was like, huh, okay. And like he said, just listen to it. You have to listen to yourself. I will open up the whole thing for questions, though, if you guys want to ask any.
Um, what else do you want to? I don't know. It's so much. Like I just love talking to Clayton in any way that I can.
No worries. So,
But again, it understanding from him and Daddy and their guidance for the kids and stuff, and I really depend on it a lot. I love it.
absolutely.
I-
Um, So I'm hesitating on doing it because I already saw that you do have a tattoo, but at the same time, do you have a tattoo of any of them?
This tattoo is important. It's a Valkyrie holding the soul of her son and taking it back home, and I got that for Clayton.
Because all I heard on that side, and you're probably gonna laugh. All I heard on that side, as soon as I like paid attention to it, was badass. That's all I heard.
That's what we call her. She's a badass. She's badass. But Clayton called me a badass, and it has Dura Madra on it. So.
That's cool because literally every mom, it's weird. And you said it's called Dura Madre on it? Every mom that I've done a reading for where their child has committed suicide, they have Madre tied into it, no matter what. So one thing that I can tell you, and I hope she comes on the live, is Charlotte. She had her daughter where she committed suicide, and she called her mom Madre. The other one had a statue of her in her home, and it's Dura Madre. So it's probably different. It's Madra, but still. So
We're like a tribe, I guess.
Well, I mean, I would say that's cool, but that's actually not really cool. So my Asperger's, my
Not
best.
cool, but it helps to know that you're not alone.
Exactly. Because a lot of the times I'll spit something out before thinking about it first, and I'm just like, okay, that's socially acceptable for me, but not for them. So,
Right.
but no, Clayton does also want to say specifically, like that's why he showed the embarrassed act, is because he feels like he acted like a 2-year-old, that he threw a temper and he feels like that's the way he took it. And I'm like, that's not how it's saw. It shows you definitely showed that you were hurting and in pain because of the fact you felt like you were failing. And then you thought with emotion, you know? And that's one thing that he needs to remember too, is that he's able to let that go and focus on how he can help you guys now.
Yeah.
One thing that he does, I don't know if one of these siblings keep on saying it, but he would really like for them to stop, is trying to say that he's selfish. He's saying that I he goes, I know that you're not saying it that much, but I know you think it. And he goes, it wasn't that I was selfish, it was that I was hurt. And so that's what he wants them to know the most. He goes, I'm not mad at you for thinking that. Please don't ever think that. And I'm not upset with you. It's just I don't want you to think I was selfish. So I don't know how that would resonate, but that is for a sibling.
Okay. I think I know who that's for.
Yeah.
I think it's more than one of them.
That would make sense because he's not going for any specific gender. He's going specific for sibling. That's all I know with confirmation.
Okay.
And without a doubt, no matter what, and I'm not just trying to blow smoke up anybody's butt. Your dad said, stay ass. I'm not trying to blow smoke up anybody's ass, but genuinely speaking, Clayton says, I really want you to drop the whole facade that you think that you're the reason why. And I don't know why he keeps on driving my eyes towards Miss Katie. Like he's sending me over towards Miss Katie. But he's saying for the general, like, I don't want you to think that you're the reason why. Nobody could have done anything different. Nobody. He goes, my mind was made up. And
I know it was.
he says that you were his confidant. Like you probably know secrets that mom doesn't. He's like, wait, you shouldn't have said that out loud. He says, but there was nothing that it needed to have to be told to mom. It wasn't like it was gonna save my life. It wasn't like it was like it was even part of the reason. And he says, one thing that I want you guys to know is that through you guys, I saw that things were possible, like things could happen. And that's why I always tried to stay doing as much as possible. But he says that he put too much expectation on himself. And then he said to tell you, mom, that if you do anything, please influence them that your career is not your everything. What your success is not your everything. Your success is the way that you treat people and the way that you are kind to others. And if you can show kindness to anybody that walks in front of you that day, that's how you know you're a good person. Because he goes, too often we walk around judging people on judging them for things that they may not even have control of. And that's something that he wants to pull back away from.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Is any of the children, I want to ask about James. Is any of the children really struggling bad with well, they all are. But is anybody being heavily bullied or anything?
I know that Joseph had some kids at school that told him that he was lying about his father and his brother's passing. I don't know if that would be considered bullying, but James has been definitely struggling a lot. He actually just had an inpatient hospital stay for a week because he's struggling.
That's exactly what it would be then. So it goes split way then. So Joseph, the whole scenario you're talking about, how people don't believe that he has family that's passed, where they're trying to say he's a liar. Definitely, he says, Mom, that needs to be nipped in the ass yesterday. So I don't know if it has been. I don't know what it is. I know you seem like a very active, proactive mom. So I'm pretty sure you've already taken care of it. But he says that it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So please make sure you're probing him and asking him, hey, how's school? How's this? How's that? And he goes, really focus on that because he's going to get picked on pretty heavily. then it does absolutely split. And I was thinking that the bullying was going to go into the same thing that Clayton did, but no, it does split, because now that you've given me context, it actually shows proof that it is with James, because James is who popped up first. So as far as the inpatient thing, I wasn't seeing that, but I was seeing where they're struggling pretty bad, where they're in their own depression.
Yeah.
So I don't want to scare you. That's not what I like to do. Like I said, I don't like to fear monger. Clayton says that you really do need to have more of a secure medical, like medicine. You need to secure that better. You need to get that put away.
Okay.
He says that that's prominent. That's like right after we're done, do that. I don't know if that resonates with you.
Okay.
But
Is that for my house or is that for his brother Jacob?
Wherever James would be,
Okay.
James Jr.
Okay.
Wherever James Jr. is at, there no medicine should be left out.
Right. Okay. All right.
And as far as Jacob goes, Jacob is another brother.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't even getting anything for Jacob, but I don't want to leave anybody out either intentionally. He goes, we weren't. I already said what I had to.
Yeah.
So, and he's not bitter with anybody. He just says we weren't leaving anybody out. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, he did. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I worry the most about Jacob, I think, because he's living at home. He won't he's staying with their sister, and so I have no idea what he's doing, and that absence makes me very nervous
Yeah.
because I don't know he's okay ever.
Jacob is what, the third oldest?
Yes, he's smashed.
And I'm sorry, did you say how old he was?
He's 17. He just turned 17 a week ago.
Remember that 1 in 7 we were talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Clayton's really like worried about him. But the thing is I think the reason why he's okay with saying about how that's his birthday too is because he knows that there's not anything that's really changeable right there, right now. I don't know if Miss Katie is able, like, I don't know how the relationship is with Miss Katie, but because Clayton's absolutely positive that any form of being able to do what Clayton did needs to be exemplified. Like if there needs to be locks on guns, there needs to be medicine put away, locked away, there needs to be blades that are put away. Not that he feels that Jacob, I almost said Jackson, I don't know why. Not that he feels like Jacob would, but he does know that Jacob is very emotionally responsive. So he's just like Clayton. And he goes, there needs to be some form of family counseling that happens where it's not pushed on them, but where it's pushed on them. Because this whole aspect of them deciding that and this is what Pappy's saying, is this whole aspect of them being able to decide to just walk out of mom's life and say it's her fault. They're kids, is what Pappy says. But then at the same time, like Clayton says, is they're hurt. So
it's kind of, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's not, they
like
have
if I push hard or if I don't push enough, and if like that once I shy after with Clayton, and
I was just about to say,
they absolutely make me off for a minute.
I was about to say, because of the fact that you said that, like with Clayton, he was saying that you were gun shy to push more than what you needed to.
Yeah.
And he goes, it needs to, so is Jewel the one that just had the baby? Is that where Jacob's at?
Yes.
And is Jewel also not really communicating with you the most?
She won't speak to me. I haven't spoke to her since my son's funeral a year ago.
Clayton goes, that's not what I want.
I haven't seen my grandson at all since he was 3 months old. He was a year in February.
Yeah, Clayton goes, that's absolutely not what I want. This is breaking my heart. He goes, Mom, take this with a grain of salt. He goes, I am at peace, but still, he says, if you guys want me truly at peace, you guys will stop doing this bullshit. Because Mom wasn't the one that and I'm sorry, this is what he's saying. He says, Mom wasn't the one that held the gun to my head. She wasn't the one that made the decision. She wasn't the one that even affected it. Yes, we had a fight because he's showing that, but that doesn't mean that that's what it was about. You guys are thinking all of the context of before and assuming. You don't know. And he goes to hold somebody completely accountable. And he's talking to Joel now too, because it's trickling from Joel down because of the influence of what to follow. And so he says that he wants her to know specifically that he really does love her. There's no animosity coming from him, not even a little. He loves every single one of them very drastically, sincerely much. And he gives nothing of a division, not even a little bit. Like, all he wants is everybody together. Like, he tries to block that out. He says, no, they're all together. They're good. And so what he wants directly is for you guys all to be together, for you guys to be able to communicate.
Right. Yeah.
And like he says, it doesn't have to be all happy-go-lucky. There's going to be a long time before everybody's okay. But he does say that because the more you guys stay divided, the more he feels like it's his fault. And the more he feels like he broke the family.
Yeah, I tell them all the time that it's disrespectful to his memory, that this isn't what he would want. And to get their heads out of their ass. Quite literally, that's what I say.
That's what Kathy said.
Yeah. Appreciating what's still here instead of dwelling on what we lost. Yeah, it's hard to shift your mindset, and if I can do it as his mother, then all they can do is set an example for them and hope that they do.
And not only that, but Joel now had, I agree with what Pappy said. Pappy just said specifically, Joel, you have a child now. If you get into a fight with your son and he does that, will you do the same thing? Hold it against every other person. Say, for example, if you have a daughter and a son, they get in a fight, and this will never happen with Henry. But if the daughter and the son get in a fight and Henry goes off and does the same thing Clayton does, are you going to forsake that daughter and tell her to leave the house?
Right.
Pappy says that's not fair. You guys are blood. You guys are family. You have never been abused by your family. If you were abused, I could understand. But he goes, there's no abuse here. Your mom has bent over backwards for every single one of you. He's calling them like your litter or something. He's saying specifically that literally you are Mama TUT. I swear, that's what he said.
I seen your memories on Facebook.
I call them my litter. Ermagerd, my whole litter, and I had a picture of all of them at Julie's graduation. Like Ermagerd. Yeah, I called them my litter.
That's really cool. Oh my god, that's super awesome. But with him, he literally is so baffled at why their thought process is going that way.
I don't know. I just from what I've known, I think that a lot of the influence is from my mother.
Mm-hmm.
She's single-handedly created a pretty big divide in our family since the very beginning.
One thing that he does also want to bring up Clayton is, so was it Aunt Katie that ended up helping him get ready for a prom or something?
I think so. Yeah. And anytime that I couldn't be the one to be there, it would be her.
Okay.
We went to several proms, not sure.
Oh, really? Okay, so that won't work then. Because I'm trying to give you something more than what he's got. Do you remember so he says whenever he's younger, he had one of these, or even one that you have now, but it's like this swing that comes off of the tree, and it's just like a saucer on the bottom, and you run and you jump on it, and you swing forward and come backwards. Did he have one of those?
It wasn't flat like that, but he had one that was like a baby seat that went between your legs.
Oh, okay. Because he's showing me that's what he feels like right now. He goes up Then he comes back, goes up, and he comes back, and he's showing that I'm just seeing everything like that. He's awesome. Is there anything that you wanted to ask him? Anything you wanted to say? That way I can go into that, see what he wants to give you.
I don't really even know. So,
Because he goes, Mom, this isn't the last time, by the way. I mean, don't think that it needs to be cut short. And trust me, like, I already know it's been an hour, but I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah, but then I don't even know what time it is.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what to ask him.
He won't talk to me.
Oh, Katie wants to know why he won't talk to her.
He goes, bullshit. Yes, I did. He goes,
Only desperate for it.
Only when she doesn't see signs from him. Can you tell her what are
did
his
she
signs?
see butterflies?
Sometimes.
Specifically orange butterflies, not just like the random white and yellow ones. And that's going to be like on For You pages, pictures, t-shirts, everywhere. So the butterflies, it's not saying that's him, but it's a synchronicity to tell you, hey, I'm around. I'm showing up for you. I was going to say the red cardinal, but the red cardinal feels like a feminine that goes with Pappy. So again, I don't know who that is. He says, I don't want to be cheesy, but I mean, the butterfly meant a lot of sense to me because butterflies also here on the physical world do mean rebirth and renewal. And he's saying that a lot of times people get butterflies tattooed on them because of a suicide or an unaliving. And he goes, that's also something that resonated with me because I figured you would have picked it up. He goes like that. I figured you would have picked it up. He also says that he speaks to you, Katie, specifically a lot with lyrics, a lot with music. Like he is a music fanatic.
Yeah. Every once in a while, he messes with my playlist. I get jealous. There's all these signs, and I just want to see him. I want to hear him.
Yeah, and see, that's actually something that's super hard with energy is because energy, the way that it works is they are literally orbs. They don't have physical bodies anymore. They don't hold on to anything, but they can give you the facade or the persona of what they want to. And so, especially whenever they're higher vibrational, it's really hard to see the orb of their essence because now they're just back into an atom without depth. And so the way that they talk is going to be with like pictures and numbers and symbols and feelings and man, his axes or whatever this spray is overwhelmingly just too much. And then with Pappy, I don't know what it is, but he's showing me like this glass bottle you tilt sideways and it's like dark green and he shakes it. I think it would like be Polo or something, but that stinks.
It's fruit.
Yeah, it's fruit.
I have it on my dresser now.
But yeah,
that just he got from Daddy.
It absolutely, like, they just give you this whiff of knowing that they're there. And they don't have a dialect unless you really are, like, if you tap into your psychic ability and develop it, that's when they start having that sound. Because with Clayton, he sounds he sounds brassy, you know? And then with Pappy, it's like, I don't know how to explain him. He's like, exactly. He's like deep, but he's got this like little sound to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. That was perfect.
Oh man. Your guys' energy, I didn't write anything down yet though. I'm gonna have to go back and write it down. But because it's been so clear, like they don't have anything that there's nothing that they want to skip out on. Like they want to just tell you guys everything. Especially so your Pappy's or your dad or Pap, I'm confused now. Anyways, he says specifically that's why he pointed out that whole perfume thing is because of the fact that like that's gonna be, and he says so he's saying that the way that he delivered the baseball, he says that you guys should have known me better than that. That's like everything. So I don't know. And then also with him, I'm trying to get more. He's got these sunglasses on that are just like massive.
To keep the wind out when he's
Keep the bugs out of your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like ants.
And it's funny because your son said butterflies, but then I called your pappy's like thing here a caterpillar. It's probably inappropriate and taking it sideways, but still, that was funny. He likes it. So did your dad, whenever he start getting to laugh like super hard, where he'd start coughing super hard? Okay, because he did that after I said the caterpillar. He's like, hey, it's better than calling it a roach. I don't know what that means. He's like, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
I didn't say something inappropriate yet.
Yeah. Give him credit.
I'm just letting them talk about anything and everything now because I don't really even know what to go in and get anymore.
They're pretty funny.
They are. There's a sweet woman that keeps popping up, though. She definitely is going to be like a grandmother of sorts. And she likes my plants, but she goes with y'all. Somehow she goes with y'all. But
I think Grandma Rose.
I know.
oh, that
Grandma
makes
Rose.
sense. I was just staring at the rose. Like, if you guys can, here, I don't know if you can see it over there somewhere. So that's probably the worst description ever. But I have like dry rose petals that I was just eyeballing, and then I was like, oh yeah, there's a female popping in. So Rose.
Yeah, Grandma. We were really close to Grandma. That
Oh,
was my
really?
dad.
Well, did she really like baby you guys a lot? Or she would talk
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then yep.
We spent our whole childhoods with
Yeah.
you.
Even when she was demented and confused in the nursing home, she would wander the halls looking for me and Katie, thinking
Looking
we
for
were.
you, thinking I was you, and just would not accept it otherwise.
Katie worked there, and she's like, she refused. That
Oh,
it
Becky,
was.
thank God you came to see me. I haven't seen your sister in a long time. I'd show her my badge, and she'd be like, you could have made that anywhere.
I love that. And then also she keeps on giving me where you're like, it's me, Katie. And then she'll be like, where she'll give you like a little sassitude. And that's cool. Well, not cool, but that makes sense because my Nana also had Alzheimer's and dementia. And so, like, I know exactly how that works, how they just completely become this sassy person that you never met before.
Yeah.
My Nana, one time, I told her, Nana, it's me. And she goes, you who? I'm like, Terry. And she goes, I don't know a fucking Terry. I'm like, your grandmother. And she goes, I don't have grandkids.
Grandma didn't cuss till the
Yeah,
very end.
yeah, they don't cuss, and then it's like their whole personality flips over.
Yep.
It's like if they were negative, then they're like all happy and go lucky, and if they're the opposite, it's the opposite. It just flips something.
No, my Nana was just sour the whole time. She was never flipped.
Noted.
She was a good lady and she was sweet, but not to people.
She was spicy.
Get a little spicy.
That's
I'm
cute.
trying to think. Is there any? I don't think I want to.
Also, he says to tell you guys that the numbers 2 and 4 stand out to him a lot. Like those numbers are going to show up a lot.
It's our birthday's the 24th.
Shut up, really?
Yeah.
That's super cool. Okay. The 24th of what?
January.
I wonder. Okay. So the 24th is going to be your guys' birthday. He says that the synchronicity of that all is going to come up a lot. A lot.
Nice.
So one thing that I've noticed with me, is whenever I'm doing energy work, 2s, 4s, 5s, 7s, and 9s pop out everywhere. And the fact that the number of your birthday is 24 it blows my mind because my lucky number has always been 24 or 42.
Nice. I like the number.
Yeah.
Everything has to be even because we
I'm
are.
real OCD about sets.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy. I'm still blown away that the fact your birthdays are the 24th.
And we'll be 42
24th of January.
You'll be
Yeah.
42?
In January, yeah.
Stop. See, there's
Where?
the 42 in the
1981.
See, I may have blown your mind, but you guys blew my mind just now. Like right now.
Yeah,
have to
I was
write
like, wait,
that down.
yes.
The fact that you're gonna be 42, and then he's saying that watch out for the 2 and the 4, and 42 and 24 are my lucky numbers. That's cool. We were meant to meet.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I mean, I'd say that your family blew in like literally super fast. Huge download.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. Does Clayton have anything specific for any of his friends that I need to tell them?
He's very
Or even-
specific. He goes, not really, Mom.
For his cousin.
I mean,
Okay.
there is an April that starts peaking as a thank you. But other than that, I'm not really clear on a lot of friends. Like that's something
Okay.
I really have to go deep
Wait.
into. Does he
Yeah.
know in April?
I'm sorry?
Does he know in April?
No.
No.
No. Our family friends would be like any of James's friends, Keith.
I wasn't getting a Keith.
Jack or his friend Jack sang at his funeral. Or
There
Keith
was
is.
a Jackson whenever we were doing Joseph, remember? Or Joe, yeah, remember?
Yeah.
That popped
Yeah.
up. So anything Jackson, that would make sense because it will pop up whenever he's throwing out names. But as far as like a message, there really truly isn't. He goes, I thought you said that I was yours, Mom. What do you want?
You're mine.
That's that's funny. But you guys know, genuinely, like I can give something and just let them know that, hey, thanks for thinking of me. But he goes, Mom, I reached out to a lot of people and nobody messaged back. And he goes, I mean, I still see them as friends, but whenever I reached out to have a conversation, it was always like, oh man, you'll get over it. You'll be okay. Or, oh, I can't right now, but maybe I'll get with you in a little bit. Or I can't come pick you up. We'll do it later. So
Yeah.
And he's not trying to show where he holds any contestment towards anybody, but at the same time, he's just like, my message isn't really for anybody else.
That makes sense.
Okay.
He really did reach out to a lot of people.
Okay. Yeah, because like he said, he tried, and he says, so, oh, here we go. I hope I don't make you cry. But he says specifically, he's asking like, well, not asking, but he's saying that there's somebody that holds guilt that they wish they could have provided him with more resource or would have gotten him the help that he should have sought because he showed the signs.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Because genuinely, he's saying that there's no reason for it. He goes, yeah, it could be cliche and everybody's going to tell you that. But genuinely speaking, there's no reason for it. Because no matter what you would have done, I still, at the end of the day, did feel like I really failed all of what I ever wanted for myself.
He kept saying that. That our last conversations the week before he passed was me trying to help him understand that it didn't matter. All that mattered that he was home and we were together and everything would work out and there's not a timeline.
He says that you said something in the fight that you regret. He's not giving me the words because he doesn't know if you want me to know. He's saying that, please don't think that I hold that. So this will be, is your kitchen kind of where you have like either an island or a counter that comes up to the middle and there's like a light that comes right above it? Yeah. And is that where you guys had the first fight where you're kind of near a bar stool and then he's kind of across?
Well, that's where how my kitchen is now. No, I don't know what to.
The only thing I can think of is if you're still holding on to the fight, like right now, and you always think about it mostly whenever you're like in that general area, because that's the only way that kitchen that you have now would even come up. Because this is the same house, right?
The fights that with Jacob before he left, and even with James whenever he was arguing, it was in the kitchen, and that's whenever we were fighting, and they were rolling around on the floor, like giving their view of the day and what happened, and saying that I was wrong and that these things happened and all of those things. So it always ends up being right like between the eating kitchen area. It's like the stovetop's in the middle and it's open, has cabinets with it.
That makes sense. He's wanting you to just that's hard though. We live physical lives, so we're gonna have physical things that happen. Because he's wanting you just to let go of that, but that's hard. Like you can't. I mean, I'm not a mom. I'm a mom to spirit babies, but you can't just let go of the fact that you're fighting with your kids, especially after what you've gone through and stuff like that. So that's something he has to remember. But he's trying to tell you as much as possible, like, know your worth and know your value, that you did not do this. Like, kids are going to fight with their parents. That's what it is. Once they grow up out of their naive mind and they see that, then it'll change. Because I feel like the reason why he feels like a broken record with that, why he keeps bringing that up, is because that's the most important thing to him.
Yeah. And I hope that they stop feeling this way one day.
He says that honestly, and this is something he's giving you point blank, not to be brutal, but he's saying that honestly, the only way that it's really going to be fixed is the fact that they're gonna have to realize that there was nobody's hand in it besides his.
Yeah. Yeah, the blaming.
Yep.
They got to get blaming. Coming to terms with that part is probably going to be the hardest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because right now, you figure most of all of them are in their teens and low 20s. And at that mindset, you still don't even know what the world has for you coming. So to sit there and just
they think they don't.
trust me, I just barely flipped from thinking I knew everything to not knowing everything, and I'm still psychic, and I'm just like, oh, that's how it works. So Mom always used to call me a smart ass, but now she's just like, whatever, I'm not even saying anything. But no, that makes sense. I'm still shocked about the Australian Shepherd not being an Australian Shepherd, that it's a pit bull something.
Dog's an Australian Shepherd. Yeah.